Hello and welcome. You're listening to 2DWeebs, Season 2 of the 2DWeebs podcast. I'm the Seaweed Ambassador, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Nick. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me. I'm super happy to be here.
I love having guests on this show, and it's so great that we finally have one. So this is a fitness and anime-related podcast, and we're going to be getting buff and talking about stuff. Hopefully in a way that ties, the two together, anime and fitness. And this week we're going to be talking about free and swimming. And we said we were going to do a deep dive into it. Not to be confused with the show Dive. We're talking about free, the other exclamation point anime involving swimming pools. So, but before we get into free, we got a little challenge that we got to talk about. Isn't that right, buddy?
We do have a challenge. And as always, the humble loser, I can announce the results. So yes. Going into this, CB was a little cocky because for the longest time we both used MyFitnessRun. First of all, if you don't know what the challenge was, it was just a running challenge. Yeah. Who could get the most miles in a week? I think it was Saturday to Saturday or Sunday to Sunday.
Yeah, it was Saturday to Saturday, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. And John came in here a little cocky because for the longest time we both used MyFitnessPal, and I was gonna use it, but then I recently got a Fitbit, and I just realized they have their own inboard tracking system. So instead of having to carry my phone, I can just use my watch, and I have to it doesn't really matter. I can still carry my phone for music. I guess it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but, not really. Except
so John came in,
maybe give you an excuse as a loser. But
So John was like, "Oh, I demolished you. You didn't even run once." I was like, I did.
That's true.
But I ran them on MyFitnessPal, and I got 7 miles. It's nothing impressive. It's pretty subpar mileage, to be honest, compared to what we used to do.
Yeah, no, mine is too. I only got 9 miles. I was a little disappointed with myself, to be honest. But I was honestly, I was just happy that we got out there.
That's true.
That's always
just that first. Yeah, no, exactly. That first step just means a ton. Just getting out there. But I remember we used to just crush out. I remember I used to do 6 mile days. 4 days a week.
Yeah. I remember I would do, on a Sunday, that would be a 12.5 mile day. Just easy. That's more miles than I got in that entire week. That's insane.
And not only that, though. Not only did he crush me in the week mileage, he came up. He came to visit us. We live in different parts of the United States.
Yep.
And he came to visit. And not only did he crush me on the week, he crushed me on my home turf, my running area.
Yes, sir.
These past couple of months, I've taken a backseat to. I'm focused more on weightlifting instead of cardio. And when he came up for spring break, I had a good lead on him, so I felt confident. I even I told him my game plan beforehand. I was I'm gonna match on the first lap, and then after that I'm just gonna crush you, have a little bit of help. I'll tell you what happened. None of that happened.
Well, it did all happen just from me.
So I was feeling good. My phone was working. I couldn't track the mileage when I first started, so I had to slow down. But then as soon as I blew past him, I don't say blew past you. Probably got a couple 100 feet ahead of you, and then he slowly throughout that first lap caught up to me, and then on the going around the second lap, I looked back. And John's just right there, and he scares the crap out of me. I'm like, oh, God. I was like, I just lost this. And then John just slowly starts pulling away. And the one thing, I didn't realize how bad, because I didn't realize how, much it deteriorates, cardio, vascular gains, I guess it would be for running. But, I've never stopped during a run before. And that's only because, once I felt like I needed to stop, I stopped and walked. And I've slowly built it up that way. And we were, going into mile, 2.5 or something like that. And I just, I was on top of this I just stopped. And I could see John in front of me, and he turned the corner, and I walk around the corner. It's probably 30 feet maybe. I turn around the corner, and John vanishes. I was like, where did he go? And I did not see him once the rest of that race.
Until I was smiling smugly at the finish line.
Exactly. It was good, though. We also did our miles times. I think they were pretty comparable. You were a little bit ahead of me. I think 10 seconds, 15 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah, it was pretty close though. Yeah. But we did both really well, I think. And you were mentioning that you didn't realize how much it deteriorates. I heard somewhere that you can kind of stop lifting weights for a few weeks and go back in the gym and get caught up really quickly, get back to the weights you used to do. But like with running, if you take a week off, or like a week or two off, it kills you. Your time is going to go down. The distance you can run is like dropped dramatically, and it's really difficult to build that back up.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing right now. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my new shoes. I having to get accustomed to them. But I just
that was something for me at the beginning when I got new shoes. Yeah.
I feel like I can run the distance like cardio wise. Like I'm not breathing heavy at the end of the run, but my legs are just like after 2 miles, they're just so like sore and like caked up. And yeah. I don't know what happened. Maybe I did it when I first started out running, but it was so long ago. I don't remember now. So I'm gonna like try it for a couple more weeks. If they're still hurting, for like 3 miles, then I'm just gonna try to get another pair of shoes because it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, also because my shoes were really hurting at the beginning when I was using them. So what you might want to do is try to loosen the laces a little bit.
Okay.
Because I mean, I was getting them pretty tight around my foot, and I think that was an issue. And once I loosened them up, it was. Ever since then, those have been the most comfortable shoes I own for that activity.
I got you. Yeah. No, I 100% get that. I'll try that next then. I'm just trying to like slowly break in the shoes, like maybe 2, get some miles on them.
Yeah, that'll always help too. Yeah.
That's pretty much it for the competition, though. I think.
Yeah.
John beat me.
100%. I took all the golds in every event.
Literally every event. I was very impressed. Like, and he sent me a progress pic today, and I was in the car with my girlfriend, and she was driving, and I showed him the pic, and she like swerved, like, what? That's John? Like, she was like, what? He's looking good. Like, it was a great like candid shot of him. I loved it, dude. It was a little mirror selfie, but it was
a mirror selfie. Yeah, I'm turning into that guy. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty proud of my progress so far. We've got like 3 or 4 weeks until our convention, right?
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, no, it's hold on, I have it on like
so it's crunch time right now.
Yeah, it's literally hardly any time. I think it's almost 20 days left until the convention.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. So it's and for those of you who don't, I mean, you might not know. I don't know if we've talked about it recently. Did we talk about it in the last episode? Whatever.
I don't.
We're going to a convention, and I will be cosplaying as Haru, which fits perfectly in this episode. And he's going to be going as Tanaka from Haikyu.
And I'm thinking Tanaka. There's another anime I watched that I don't want to spoil for John. It's a running anime. It's Run with the Wind. There's a character in there. I'm thinking about doing it too. At the end of this week, I'm buying. On Friday, I decided I'm buying something, and that's when I make that decision. I'm just trying to put it off as long as possible. But it's on Amazon, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal. I have all the pieces for my free one except for the shorts, because the ones I was gonna get were on Amazon and now they're sold out. So I've got I think I'm gonna be getting his college shorts that he has in the newest season.
Gotcha.
I think I'm gonna be getting those. They're a little more expensive, but they should be higher quality. So I'm hype, honestly.
I'm hyped too. I'm ready. I'm ready to see you again, man. It's been too long already.
It has. It's only been like a week.
So I think this is like a good time. Something I wanted to bring you. I asked you. I just never followed up on you for whatever reason. I texted you. Like, what are your goals for this year? So for all the longest time, we've both been focusing on you getting ready for your cosplay body. I've been ready on weightlifting. What happens after the con? What's next for Seaweed after that? What are you planning?
I mean, yeah, that's a big thing too. Because I was kind of wondering this the past few days. I was thinking about it, watching some videos. Like, like after this is my like end game. This is my Avengers end game right here. Is this convention? So like, what's the next thing? I need another goal to strive for, right? And I think, I mean, honestly, right now, I think I'm gonna just kind of bulk for a little bit. No, I don't want to do a heavy bulk because I don't want to add everything back that I've lost.
Gotcha.
But I want to be a little bit bigger, but I want to look good all year round, But I definitely need like a date of like, this is, kind of like how bodybuilders have like their shows,
Yeah.
Like they have to be fit by this date. This is their show. They can't really, if they miss that, then that's that for the entire year. I need to find something like that because there's not really anything so far. But currently, I just got to look currently I'm just trying to have fun with training, you know?
I got you. That makes sense. I completely get that. No.
Yeah. So what are some of your goals here?
Something that I'm thinking, I want to get back into running, because running was like, it was a really good time in my life when I was like, we were hitting those miles. I went a long time without injury. I just felt good every day. Like I felt like, a good, like, I don't know how to explain it. I just felt good. Like a general like sense of like, I felt great. I felt like I was like doing well in school. Everything was working out for me. I think it really centered around just like, I set that time aside every day for running, and something I want to get back those miles back. Because the idea that I can't run 3 miles anymore just blows my mind. Like I can run it, but it takes a lot out of me. Like I was puffing and puffing, and I'm like, it sucks, and I want it back. So I think my next steps, starting this week actually, I'm going on a training plan for running. And I'm trying to like, I don't want to see what my goal is yet, because I feel like when I say my goal, it like becomes like I don't get any much enjoyment out of it. I kind of want to surprise you one day.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, oh hey, this is what I'm doing. It's gonna in the near future you'll see it.
I'm excited.
Good. It's a surprise, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be the day of, or maybe the day before. And I'm gonna be like, hey, guess where I'm going? And you're gonna be like, oh what? And you're like, okay. It's gonna be big. I'm telling you, we're doing big things up here, boys. We getting it big.
Big things. Yeah, I need to find my big thing so that I can't tell you about it. And but yeah, I mean, I need a goal to strive for here with fitness, because I know if I don't have like a thing, then I'll fall off. Like, because at the beginning, when I started this last summer, I think it's been about a year, almost to the day, from when I started in this whole fitness thing, like really into it. And when I started, I saw myself in the mirror that one day, and I was like, oh boy, I look like garbage. And then I was also almost heavier than my dad, and I was like, no, we're not doing this. And so having that goal is my goal. Then was just to get under 200 pounds. And then once I did that, I just kind of kept running, and my goal was miles, and now my goal is this convention. So, I mean, I'm like you. I want to get back into be able to run longer distances, which I think I have recently, because the past 2 days I've been putting up about 5 miles. Though today was tough. Yeah. Today was, oh man, it was like 100 degrees here, or it felt like 100 degrees, like 65% humidity. Oh man, it was so bad. My time was awful, but we got those 5 miles in, so I felt really good afterwards. But oh man, but yeah, I want to get back into being able to do that kind of thing. And just being more consistent with basically everything. I've got some other plans. Don't want to talk about them here, but yeah.
Of course.
Gotta keep them a secret for when it. But
I'm telling you, you're making fun of me, but I'm being dead serious. I looked at I looked at studies for this. So apparently, when you have like a goal in mind, when you tell people about that goal, like dopamine gets released, right? And it like the more, and that's kind of like you getting like a high just from telling someone about it. Like, oh, I'm going on this trip. You're getting like a high off doing that, and then when you go on the trip, it's not as much of a dopamine release. I'm waiting, right? It's a couple months in the making. Yeah, it's starting tomorrow. I'm on my training plan. In a couple months, I'm not gonna tell. I'll only tell my mom. I love my mom. Okay. I cannot tell her something. I'm
the same way. Like I can try to keep a secret from my mom, but it ain't gonna be kept for long.
I've told my mom to secrecy. No one knows. You won't know. Jake won't know. No one's gonna know.
Wow.
Until the day up, I'm taking a picture. I'm gonna send it to her over Snapchat and be like, "Wish me luck," and then doing blank blank, and that's gonna be it.
I'm excited.
Because here's another thing, right? We gotta get this. We gotta get to free at some point in this podcast.
We do. We promise we'll get there. Just keep listening. We'll get to free.
Here's the thing. I feel like, fitness-wise at least, I have not strove for anything. So I fence. I'm going up to nationals in a couple weeks. But even that, though, I just feel like I've been going through the motions. I haven't been motivated to do anything, or I haven't really achieved anything that amazing, at least in my eyes, at least. And this is my last year of college. It's my last year before I go the real world. I want to do something that I'm gonna look back on and be like, oh my god, how could I ever I'm amazing. So I can brag to my grandkids about, and hopefully this is gonna be that. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hey, I hope. I mean, big ups to you. You
Thank
know,
you.
I hope it goes well. I need to find my thing that I wanna get good at. Currently, I'm looking into doing boxing. I can't tell you about this. This here in about a week, whenever July starts, I'm gonna be getting a membership to this rock climbing gym.
Oh,
That's in town. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh man, I went there for a class one day. It was so good, so fun, and then I went back later that same day. Because it was a you pay once all day thing.
Yep.
And it was amazing. I had so much fun, and it was very taxing. Obviously, you know about rock climbing. Yeah. We've been together. You introduced me to it. You were the one who introduced me. Yes, I didn't even know those type of gyms existed. I'm not gonna lie to you. And so this thing. It's pretty dope. So I'm really excited to get more into this. Like into rock climbing. And hopefully I can overcome my fear of heights. That's a big thing for me.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. That is awesome. You're working towards that. Yeah, no, I rock climbing gyms are one of my favorite places in the world because they have so much like calisthenic equipment as well as like climbing's just fun in general.
It is. It's really fun. Say when I went, it was this class that they called Climb Fit, and basically what we had to do is we started off with a warm up, right? And this was a 20-minute AMRAP routine, and so basically that means you have a routine and you do that as many times as you can in 20 minutes. Okay. Or however long of a period that they set for you or you set for yourself. And our routine, it was you had to scale the wall up and down, like the tall wall with the harness and everything. Scale that, and you had to climb down. You couldn't just drop yourself. You had to climb down. So that was really working your forearms. And then as soon as you're done with that, it was 20 jump squats, 20 lunges, 20... let me see, what was it? 20 ice skaters or speed skaters. Sorry, speed skaters, which those you like touch your opposite toe with you touch your toe with your opposite hand, and like you got to bend down, put the other leg behind you. I don't know how to describe it. It's really fun, but it's also I hate it so much. And then we did 20 mountain climbers, and then 20 push-ups, and then you just do all that again. And there's only one other person here at this workout. She had tore her ACL recently, and this is her third workout back. She did it 3 times, and I only did it twice.
Oh my god, that's insane!
It was insane. Yeah. I mean, given she wasn't doing like the jump squats and everything, but on the second round I wasn't either, because oh man, those jump squats kill you after rock climbing and everything. And it sounds so easy. It sounds like such a simple workout. I mean, because it is simple, and you can just go and do it whenever you want to. At the gym, you don't have to be there for the class. But oh man, that was. And then after that, we did abs. So like that wasn't the end either.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so much fun though.
It was so fun.
I've never done a class before. That sounds like so interesting. Could we go to it when I come down to visit you for the?
For sure. Yeah,
it sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it was think at mine it was $15, and that included your equipment rental and everything, and the entire day pass. It was great.
$15 total?
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah, I know, it was great. So yeah. When you come down, we're gonna have to like go there, even if there's not a class. We're gonna go and we're gonna do a workout there for sure.
That'd be so much fun, dude. That's awesome.
Yep. It is. It's oh man. If you have a rock climbing gym near you, I highly recommend going and trying it out. Because I think it's one of the most probably unique forms of fitness right now. Mm-hmm. That obviously like a lot of people know about it, but I don't think like enough people do.
That's true.
They don't, or a lot of people don't think of it as fitness. They think of it as like a kid's activity, like that they'll do, like a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a bowling. You go bowling, you go rock climbing. It is so much different than bowling. It is
so much.
Like climb for 2 hours and your forearm's gonna be toasted, your grip's gonna be gone, you're gonna be sweating.
Yes, and bouldering is bouldering so much fun. But we could talk about that on another podcast. Because today we're talking about we'll figure something out. We'll get that in there. Today we're talking about free though, and so let's actually get into free. We've been talking 20 minutes about. So it's about time we talk about free. All right, so. Personally, let me ask you, what's your favorite thing about free?
My favorite thing about free?
Just in general.
I have two wall scrolls of half-naked boys that'll answer that question. Their bodies. That's very. That sounds really weird to say out loud. I don't know.
It's really weird coming from you, especially because you're so into strongman.
No,
you know.
No, I get it. See, look, don't
But like,
get me wrong.
I'm not saying like that's a bad thing. It's just it's really weird for me to hear that from you. Because you're normally talking about strength, and I'm normally the one obsessing over their bodies.
Let me get into this. So the thing why the free bodies are like that's I'm like, oh wow, those are good, is because their sport requires them to be lean to get to the water faster, and then like the V-shaped bodies they all have, they're perfect for swimming. Like they're like
Yes.
Body types play such a big deal into like any sport. Like no matter like what anyone says, like if you're small and try to play football, you're gonna get knocked out. Like it's just like body types.
Yeah, I mean, like, unless you are like really nimble and like is a really good running back, that's like the only position though that you can really be small but you have to be able to compensate for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's exceptions, of course, to everything. There's always like the little giant in Haikyu. Like there's
exactly
always, but for the most part, if you you need this type of body part to excel at this sport, or like you need a certain leg length to like be a successful runner. Yep. And they do a really good job, I think, of showing that like their bodies are really good for swimming. For the most part, like especially Haru's, Makoto's, it's like really good. His like body shape.
Yeah. And I mean, also to go on that, like, I think it's really impressive and really cool that they, for each of their like body types and like their swimming types, they match up. Like, so Makoto does the breaststroke, I believe. Backstroke. He does the backstroke. That's right. And so obviously his back is huge because he does the backstroke. And the same with Ray, because Ray's back is because he does butterfly. And so that one is, the butterfly is, so his shoulders are going to be very wide because of that. And like Haru is freestyle, so he needs to be very slender, which he is. And that's why it's a lot of core in there. And I really like how they accentuate each of those muscle groups for each of those swimming types. Because that's just how it is.
That actually is, I completely agree with that. And then like Go even talks about at one point like all the specific muscles. And of course, swimming works almost every muscle. Like it's a great all around.
Yeah, it's really good cardio because it's also like low impact. So you don't have to. You can do like HIIT in the pool, and it's not gonna hurt you as bad as doing a bunch of sprints. Plus, it's normally in cold water, and cold water is good for fat loss.
So many benefits. Yeah. Already. I don't know how I feel about the ice bath thing. I have like that's a different thing. That's
a different segment, but we can all agree that I don't think there's a swimmer out there, a competitive swimmer that has a lot of body fat, Like if you look at real life swimmers like Michael Phelps, it's the only one I can actually name. But if you just watch the Olympics, like they have like no body fat. Like they're all very lean, very ripped. I don't want to say ripped is not the right word. Athletic. I don't know what the athletic, shredded maybe, because that doesn't mean you're bulging. It just means you can see your muscles very well, and like that's how it is. Like even for like the female swimmers, they're all very very lean, and I personally think it has to do with the water. I don't know if ice baths specifically would help with that. I personally use ice baths, but that's for a different purpose.
No, I get that. I just wanted to like it's just like there's different science on the whole ice bath thing, if it actually is good for you or not. But that's like
for sure. It is for sure. It is good for your joints for sure.
Yeah, no,
that is the one thing that science is 100% on. Which is why I use it, because my joints are garbage.
Something that really interested me, and something I'm always super I guess amazed by, is like the ability to I forget what the name of it is right now. It's not cross training, but it's when one sport, if you do something in one sport and it applies really well to another sport. So like a good one is rock climbing and grappling, because it still requires that static motions. I'm trying to think of another really good one.
Well, I mean like ballet and football, because you've got to be very nimble on your feet. That's two very different types of training, but they work very well together. Yeah, a lot of pro football players. We're talking about real football also, not like the American football, the real football. They take ballet because it helps them be more nimble and just helps them move better on the field.
Yeah, so exactly like that, and something I think they at least like they touched on. They might not like did a really deep dive into it, but they Ray, when he first started out on the team, I want to make sure that's his name. Yeah, Ray.
Yes, that's Ray. Yep.
He was like a really big, he was like a track athlete, and I'd say a lot of his like conditioning from track carried over to swimming, and of course he didn't know how to learn how to swim and everything. But he was already like, and I think they even said in the show, like, oh, he's already like fit from running, like, so he doesn't need a condition. He just needs to learn his form more so than anything else.
Yeah, and that's what they talked about a lot in there. Yeah,
and I think that's like a really like cool thing. Like, yeah, so like if you're fit in one area, you can like, and that's why I'm so big on like functional fitness. Like if I can do, I don't know, if I'm good at baseball, like somehow or way or another, that's gonna like condition over to bowling. Like you're gonna get maybe like the swing of the bat is like comparable to like your, I don't know, it's just a weird metaphor I came off my head, but like I just think like that's just like a good example of you should be fit for like even if you're doing like gymnastics, I don't know, like that's gonna carry over, like whatever you're fit in, it's gonna like help you out so much in literally everything else. I think cardio especially is true for that. So if you're a good runner, I think you're going to be, better at swimming. It's going to be easier, like, turnover in swimming.
And I think definitely for Ray's case, like with the running, going from running to swimming, he has that endurance and that stamina that, he, like they mentioned in the show, and he's already built that up. And that's such an important part of swimming because, swimming is very taxing because you're constantly pushing against the water, and water is heavy when you're just in there, so like already having that, like the baseline of stamina that he has built up, just learning, like being able to focus on the form, it's going to help him progress faster. Like he might not be a better swimmer because of it, like specifically, but he'll get better faster because he already has that baseline.
Exactly.
And it's kind of the same way, like, just because, going back to the football one, just because you take ballet and you play football, it doesn't mean you're going to be able to, use that immediately. You're going to have to figure out how to use those things you learned in ballet, but you have that base of, football and like moving your body in football that'll help you progress farther in ballet, which will then again help you progress farther in football because you're learning more and but it's all about having that base that lets you carry over things.
I think that's a really good way to put it. Like you have a baseline of fitness, no matter what you do. Like there's like if you're doing just walking every morning, that's a baseline of fitness that's going to carry over. Like even like when you're just playing tag with friends. I don't play tag with friends. I'm a college student. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah,
but
we play hide and seek.
Exactly. No, when you, I don't know, it just like it's such a cool idea to me, or like it's such like an amazing thing that keeps me. It's so, like a little bit of motivation for me. Going back to our last podcast, I was just like, if I run an extra mile here, I want to be this much better at fencing. I'm gonna be this much better at shadow boxing. Like it's just cool seeing like how. Actually, you want to know? It is tag actually. So this is a cool little like story. I don't know. It was over winter break, and for some reason, all my friends met up, and we decided to play tag.
Okay.
No clue why. We decided to play tag, but we decided to play tag. And I remember because Jake was there, and Jake's one like he's the one that got me into running. He was like my original like running coach.
Yeah,
like,
he used to be the big runner until he got injured or whatever happened.
Yeah, exactly. He got injured, and unfortunately, he can't run as much anymore. He's getting back into it, of course. He runs miles when he can. But he I remember when I couldn't even run a mile, and he would just like for the first like until I built up to 2 miles, he would run with me every day, and just until I built that up. And I'm so thankful for him. I'm so glad he made that. I had that support there. But like. Like the biggest thing was we used to play tag, right? And I used to be the slowest kid at tag. I hated tag because I would always get tagged and I could never tag anyone back, and it was just torture for me. And then it's something amazing happened. And this was with a fencing team too, so like we're fairly athletic people. Like we train, for our sport. And I was just like tagging everyone, and I was able to like tag. I was like, what's going on? And Jake was like, dude, when did you get so fast? Like what happened? And I did. It clicked for me that. Because that was when I was really hitting my miles. Like I was hitting 6 miles a day, easy. I was like that carried over. I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like I can see my progress in just something as simple as tag. It's a very long aside from what I just talked about with Free and Ray, but I still think it's cool. I think it's such a cool little touch they added in. That wasn't necessary.
And being able to see your progress in other areas, kind of like that is like pretty impressive. Like, I mean, they kind of use that in Free a little bit, because they're like the big thing. I believe it was season 1, is that they were all training to like work together in the relay.
Yeah.
And seeing them progress, like even if it was, even if they were still late, or like if Ray was still late on the like jump off, he would be getting closer, or they might have like cut 1 second off their time, and that whole, I mean, this is going back more to motivation again, but like seeing that, even like the that minuscule amount of success is like, it helps you stick with it and want to get better. I mean, for me personally, like that's huge, and seeing it in other areas is just really cool to be able to do. Like you mentioned with tag, just seeing your like that what you're doing is working, I guess, is very encouraging.
100%. And it just like goes to show like that base. You gotta build up that baseline of fitness. It'll help you out in just ways you'll never expect, even in tag.
Yeah, I mean, and even like let's say you're working at a job that you gotta like lift heavy boxes or something. You're like in the back stocking at like a grocery store, and then your friend asks you if you could come help move some furniture for him, and like once you get over to his house, and you might not have even been training for anything. You might not have ever walked into a gym before, but then you go in and you pick up just this armchair. You just pick it up yourself, and your friend looks at you like, "Whoa, what are you doing? Like that's you can't do that." Like that's a huge confidence booster. And that's just something like, and that'll help you get the job done faster. So that way you and your buddy can, you can crack open a cold one with the boys. And by a cold one, of course, I mean a Diet Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, please sponsor this podcast. I love Diet Dr. Pepper. And please bring back Dr. Pepper 10.
Wow, I didn't know you were such a Dr. Pepper fanboy. Like that's.
Oh, I am. Dr. Pepper, that's my drink. That's the one soda I can't give up. But I've moved to diet, so
I'm like
made it slightly healthier, but not a ton.
That's what I'm in with sweet tea. I'm the exact same way. But good. That was a good. I think it was a little session. But what I want to talk about is the muscle breakdown. What we would do to achieve each individual freeze muscle. We talked about this a little bit earlier.
Before we get into like, what we do for each one, I want to know who has the best muscles in your opinion. I think you already know mine, who I think does, but who do you think has the best muscles out of the core 5? And I'm going to include Rin in that.
Okay, like overall, like.
Yes, overall, who has like the best physique and the best. And whose like muscle group is your favorite out of all of them?
100% Ray's. Just because you can do deadlifts, not Ray's, excuse me, Makoto's. Just so you can do deadlifts to get them. That's a little bit. I think Makoto's like probably not my older body. Like he's taller than me, of course, so I can never achieve his amazing stature of 6 foot. But
yeah,
he has broad shoulders like me, and he has like a very slim waist, that V shape that's really good for like that V body. For things, and I just like he has such a good rippling back muscles. Like that's by far probably. I'm not a big bicep guy, not a big arm guy, but back's where it's at. Let you pull up those deadlifts. I think yours is. Can I take a guess?
Go ahead, take a guess.
It's either Haru or Ren. I want to say Haru probably.
Okay. See, I love Haru, and he. Honestly, like you got it right because it's tied between Haru and Ren. That's why I threw Ren in there, because like Ren is probably the body that I could achieve, right? With my physical structure, I don't think I'm as tall as he is, but he's probably the one that I could achieve. He's slightly bigger, but Haru is like my ideal, like the perfect body, right?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about those washboard abs, and of course Rin has those as well. But I really like the slender. I don't want to say heroes because he's not a hero, but but like whenever I'm like reading manga, like, and I think of like my favorite body types from those, it's people like Ichigo from Bleach, like. honestly like Yagami in Death Note. He has a pretty rockin' bod. A lot of the Chobits, or not Chobits, Clamp, like the Clamp characters.
Yeah.
They all have like very slender physiques, and they're very like long. And I don't know. There's something about that I just really like. But if I had to say one that I think I could achieve, is definitely Ren, and that's kind of my goal, is to look like Ren and Haru, as much as possible.
I got you. I get it. It's like a mix of them. I mean, I don't see why you couldn't achieve Haru. Like, I don't see. I have a poster of them right now while I'm looking at. I really don't see that much of a difference. I think Ren's a little bit broader than Haru.
Yeah, he is. He's a bit broader, and I mean, he has slightly just a slightly bigger frame, just in general. But yeah, I mean, they're very similar in their physiques.
I got you. I completely get that. I respect that. I really respect that.
So what would you do for if you wanted to look more? Let's start with the main character, Haru.
Okay.
What would you do? He has that nice the torso, the thin-ish torso. What would you do to look more like him?
To look more, if I was gonna look more like Haru, what would I do?
Yeah. So like, what training? If you had to do like one exercise, what would you pick?
So, see, I think Haru has really good shoulder muscles. I think that's what my
that's your thing. Okay, interesting.
I think he has really good shoulder muscles. Like I had a little bit of background. I have a really bad shoulder injury when I used to wrestle all the way back in high school, and I've never really recovered fully from it. So that's something I really notice in a lot of people. And when he has powerful shoulders, and that's something I always wanted. I just can't achieve because of my energy, of course. So I think what I would do. See, it's torn though because I like his back shoulders too. Okay, so
go with his shoulders, because you can go with the back on Makoto.
I got you. So what I'm gonna recommend probably would just be wide grip. No, that'll be chest. What am I gonna recommend for Haru? What do you think? Let me think.
So okay, so on Haru's, I think that his core is probably his defining feature.
Okay.
And so for that, I would do hanging leg raises.
Oh my God, you're a devil. You're a demon.
Yeah.
Those
suck. Those suck. They're so bad. But it's really good it does a lot. It'll help your grip strength, which isn't really necessary in this case, but it's just an added benefit. Mm-hmm. And if you do the hanging leg raises with the twist, you can also hit your obliques and the abdominis rectus. Rectus abdominis. You can hit like almost your entire core, all with essentially like one exercise, and all it takes is a pull-up bar, which is why it's probably one of the most effective core exercises. But it's also, I think what they say: no pain, no gain.
I'd say it's probably more of an advanced core workout as well.
Oh, it's definitely more advanced. If you can't hang, then you're not going to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. And if you want to get better at that, I mean, honestly, one of the best things to do is just to hang, just straight up hang from the bar. Don't try to pull yourself up. Just try to hang and do pull-ups. Pull-ups will help get that grip strength also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but if you want something, do some what?
Like just negative pull-ups as well. That's what I'm working on right now.
Yes, negative pull-ups if you can't do pull-ups, yeah. And if you can't, do those right now, you just do like some core ab work. So like V crunches, where you're crunching both, you're pushing your legs and your shoulders together in like a crunch motion.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
So you're hitting the top, middle, and bottom of your abs. You want to do some of those mixed in with some Russian V twists, and those you can do those at the same time. All you have to do is, you sit up and then twist to each side, and then you go back down, and that's one rep. And you just do some of those. They'll kill you. They're pain.
Yeah.
But that's probably the best, more beginner variation of like the hanging leg raise. Yeah, but if you're, obviously if you're super beginner, just find a really good ab routine on YouTube to work yourself up to it. But those are the two I would recommend for more advanced and more basic for core.
I get that. So I like the idea of core with horror. I think you're on to something with that. And I can also like I want to recommend. I know you hate them. I want to recommend a front squat, because not only are you working on that core, holding up that bar on the front squat, you're also working those legs as well. And that's, I think, a really powerful kick for kicking. The shoulders, I mean, your shoulders are going to be sore. You're putting a lot of weight on your bar, and it's holding on the front of your shoulder. I don't know if it's necessarily working them per se, but yeah,
Not really, no.
I'd recommend the front. I think front squat would be pretty
I think
good.
the front squat is a good exercise. I just don't like to do it.
I completely get it. And bar workouts, especially on like a free bar, super dangerous if you don't have someone to like walk you through them. I didn't have someone to walk me through them. I made so many mistakes the first time, and I still make mistakes just because.
Yeah, so you really want to watch your form when you're doing squats, especially if you try to do heavy weight. You know, if you're just starting out, don't put a lot of weight on that bar. You will really mess up your back. And I know personally, I have actually fractured my back before, and it's not fun doing that because you can't do a lot. That's
actually something I'm glad you touched on. Just like a little PSA before we get back into free. The biggest thing is, I'm telling you, just spend it. Even if you're doing bench press when you're getting back into the gym for the first time. I know people want to just go in there and like rep out as much as they can. Don't do that. I'm telling you, take a day, just do the bar, maybe put some tens on it if you're doing a squat or something, just so you can get like the weight feel of it.
Yeah, maybe, but like you really don't need to. You need to focus on form.
Just do form. Make sure you look in the mirror. Make sure your form's perfect. Then slowly start adding weight on. Don't do big jumps. Just like slowly, maybe 10 pounds a day or 10 pounds a workout until you hit what your actual max is. Or of course you want to figure out your max as well, but just like ease your way into it. There's no rush. Like there's no point in like just getting up there and injuring yourself, because that's not going to help you anyways.
That's not making you healthier. That's going to ruin all your progress that you've made.
Exactly.
So you definitely don't want to overload yourself, because I mean, I think I know I've done it before. Being in a high school gym, it just kind of happens. Everybody's pushing you harder, and you don't want to be behind everybody. And I'm sure you've probably done it as well. Maybe not to the point of full injury, but you've definitely like overloaded the weight on yourself.
No, 100%. I especially in my younger days, 100% did when I was like in high school.
Yep. So now that we've got that out of the way, who do you want to focus on next?
Let's do. I mean, I already gave away what I would do. Makoto. Let's do Makoto.
Yes. Okay. Dope.
Makoto's always showing off his back. He's got that rippling back. He's just ooh, it's really
huge.
Just this one gif of him like stretching his shoulders, and it's just like you see every muscle in his back. It's like ripped. What would you do to achieve not only his back muscle, just a body like Makoto's? What would you do?
Well, for the back specifically, I would definitely do some wide grip pull-ups.
Okay.
And you want to make sure you're doing them right, because if you're pulling with your arms, it's not going to help anything. A pull-up should be pulling with the back. But if you can't do pull-ups and you have access to a gym, the lat pull-down machine is really great. But again, if you don't have access to a gym but you have a pull-up bar, negative pull-ups, where you jump up, you grab the bar, you jump up, and you hold yourself up there, slowly lowering yourself for as long as you can. And if you can get a friend to count for you, that'll make it even harder. Isn't that right, buddy?
God, don't even get me started on that. That's rough.
It is, and especially if you have somebody who knows like when that they're if your friend can tell when they're exhausted, or like when you're exhausted when you're doing them, but they'll still count down, just add like an extra second, an extra half second to you to really push you, but not injure you. Like that's always a great that'll do wonders for you. Isn't that right?
No, so what he's referring to is when he came up, we worked out at my gym. And I've always cheated on. I haven't seen much progress in my pull-ups, and that's probably because not only am I like at a very heavy weight right now, but also I've just been slacking on them because I don't like doing negative pull-ups. I think they're so demeaning and so like emasculating. Yep. And I was, so I was like the first one I slowed it down. Like John was like, "Whoa, what are you doing? Well, yeah, that wasn't a rep. Get back up there."
Yeah, nope, that was not a rep.
And then I was like, okay. I was like. He was like 1, 2. I was like, that is not 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you get like a friend to do that for you, you're gonna progress like a lot faster, because if you're cheating yourself, I mean, you're only cheating yourself,
That's true.
because you're not cheating. Because right now, at least, we're not playing on any teams. If you're playing on a team, then yeah, you're cheating other people as well. But if you're just in this for, to get better, to get yourself better, you're only cheating yourself.
That's true.
Go ahead. What would your exercise for Makoto be?
Do 100% a deadlift. A freeze deadlift. Yep. First of all, if you're doing a deadlift on Smith machine, get out of here. Smith machine. we're not. It's all about free weight. No,
yeah, I think for those of you who don't know, the Smith machine is the assisted. It's where like the bar is like connected to 2 vertical bars. Yeah, and it makes it a lot easier. Neither of us are a very big fan, but if you are by yourself, it's a really good like tool to use so you don't injure yourself and like drop it.
No, 100%.
Like if you're in a Planet Fitness, so the lunk alarm doesn't go off.
Oh my god, that's a completely another thing. I don't want to talk about lunk alarm.
Yep.
You're not going to be on
we'll do a whole other podcast on the lunk alarm. So continue with what you're saying though.
The deadlift, especially for the upper back muscles and like the back of the shoulder, it's such. First of all, you don't want to do the deadlift wrong. If you're feeling it in the bottom half of your back, you're doing it wrong. Stop and like evaluate your form. And it's it's a very dangerous. I think it's probably one of the more any free bar exercise is going to be dangerous to do. Like squats the exact same way. Remember, get that form down. When I first started deadlifting, I literally had 2 tens on it, and I just did that. And I sent my a video of me to you. I sent a video to one of my old coaches. I wanted to get as much opinion as I can because that is you can mess up your back so bad doing it.
So easily. I remember when I started, my trainer that would train us all for football and everything, he did not let me do anything on the bar. It was only the bar. Mm-hmm. And I mean, at first I was like, oh, I look like such a wimp. I'm around all these other guys. They're repping with a couple, some of them were doing 245s on each side.
That's good.
That's so much weight. And I was over here just doing the bar, but I mean, I'm really thankful for him now. And all the guys in there were also really supportive too, which is something, you might not realize at first when you walk in a gym, but most of the time, everybody in there is trying to get better themselves and they'll help you out. I've had people recommend me other exercises to help, if they've seen me, working on something, they're like, oh, this is a much better exercise for this thing. Mm-hmm. And it's really, even if you don't need the advice, quote unquote need it, it's still really nice to know that people are there to help you. They're not there to make fun of you. Nobody really cares if you can only bench press 45 pounds. Nobody cares at all.
Yeah, 100%. Of course, there's gonna be the gatekeepers, you're not doing it, you can't do that. But for the most general people,
see, that's the exception though.
Exactly. For the most part, people are just they don't care if you're in there. If anything, they're happy. When I see someone, especially running, no matter if they're walking, jogging, no matter how big, I always give them a little fist bump when I'm driving by, a little hand, a little bro fist in the air for them, just because that was something I was super worried about when I started running, because I'll probably in the obese category when I started running. I was so anxious that people were going to judge me. And then the more I ran, the more I realized no one gives a crap what I'm doing.
And even when they are, they're like, oh, awesome, you're out here.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I was doing that. I wish I had that dedication.
Yeah, no, that's something that I'll do whenever I see anybody running also. Just give them I'll just wave to them or, just be like, hey, good job. Good to see you out here, man. Good to see you out here, and stuff like that. Always it's always about encouragement. Don't ever put people down for trying to be better.
Exactly. Yeah, that's just one of the worst things anyone can do. That's a complete aside. Yeah. Makoto, back muscle, deadlift with good form. That's really just a big PSA there. Make sure you have good form, or you can seriously hurt yourself. But once you deadlift, you'll feel it'll be a good soreness on the back. At least for me, I love deadlift. It's my favorite, and it's such a good functional fitness. Let's not talk about deadlifts anymore. Let's talk about the next one. Let's talk about Ray. What would you say Ray's muscle is?
Ray's muscle. Well, he has he does the butterfly, correct?
Yes.
So for him, I think it's really important. The chest and shoulders, I think, are probably his 2 best. So what would you do for that kind of area? Those are two separate areas. So let's go with chest for him.
Okay.
Because I think shoulders can really tie into the back. I think at least with pull-ups, that's a big thing with shoulders, and not so much as for deadlift, but a lot of the exercises that are mainly back focused also compound the shoulders slightly. Not 100%, of course, but so let's focus on chest because we haven't really touched on chest at all yet.
Something that I always struggle with, and I more I've learned about it, the more I learned, like, it's a really hard muscle group to activate. I am awful at activating my chest and almost anything, even push-ups. I rely too much on my shoulders when I should be like focusing more on the chest, more on the, like the back, or not the back, I guess, more of the chest. So this is the only bodybuilding exercise I'll ever recommend: an isolateral chest press. If you don't know what it is, just look it up. It's so good. That's the only thing I can activate it. 2DWeebs also recommends it too. That's where I learned it from. It is such a good. And if you haven't tried it before, John, I guarantee you it's great.
What can you like do like a basic description of it?
So there's three. There's a standing. There's like an incline, a standing, and then there's also a laying
Fully
down
on the
one.
floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And basically, I wish I had a good picture of it. So there's a good one at least. Will have two different places to put the weights. It'll be the normal place right beside where your hands are to lift it up. And there'll also be one like up and to the right. I'm doing an awful job explaining this. If you just Google isolateral chest press, it'll pop up. And I like the incline one the best. And it's just basically it's literally just a chest press. Like, it's an incline. My favorite is the incline. So it's basically you're doing an incline press, but it's a machine. And hold on, let me just Google one. I'm gonna put a link in the description for everyone.
Yeah, we'll add that link for sure.
But
see, I'm looking it up right now also because I might have done it before, but I don't know the name of that one.
Mm-hmm. It's isolates the chest, and it's just I think it works a good part of the chest. I don't know if it hits the lower chest any, but I feel a burn on this one. It's the only workout I've ever done that really hits my chest, and I can feel it when I get out of there. Even the bench press doesn't hit that much as I want it to.
Yeah. See, for me, so if I was gonna recommend something for chest, I mean, honestly, I'm big into calisthenics and everything, and I think I would have to go with the simple push-up.
Yeah, I can see that.
The thing that I love about the push-up so much is that there's so many variations you can do. Mm-hmm. So, like, right now, my goal in push-ups is to be able to do the plyo push-ups, which is where you throw yourself up, and sometimes, a lot of people will clap. Some people just kind of throw themselves up in the air. And so I want to be able to throw myself up, clap beneath me, clap behind me, clap beneath me again, and then catch myself all in one rep. That's my goal for that right now. Currently, I'm so close to being able to clap behind me and catch myself. Hopefully I can be able to do it like in the next couple days, because I really want to be able to do it before the convention.
Yeah.
But the push-up, as long as you're doing it right, it's very, it's one of the best things you could do for your chest. As far as, I'm concerned, it just really works that pushing muscle. And plus you'll get a little, you can do variations to work your triceps, do a little bit on biceps, some shoulder work too. Like, there's a ton of variations, and I just think it's a really cool exercise because you can like almost constantly progress in it. And that's one of the reasons I love push-ups so much.
Yeah, push-ups are just a good staple exercise. I think they're probably, at the very least, should be incorporated to some extent. It's such an easy exercise to do. You don't need any equipment.
Yeah.
And especially for muscle endurance, and also like you can keep upping the variations, like you said. There's like the explosive push-ups with like you clap. There's the diamond push-ups that work more the triceps. Super good exercise. Yeah, I think
like once you get to a point, I mean, this is not chest anymore, but you can do those really cool ones where you're lifting your entire body off the ground. Have you seen those?
No, what are you talking about?
Oh, those are dope. Like, okay, so essentially your hands are going to be like around your waist area, and they're going to be your fingers are facing your toes.
Okay.
And essentially you're just going to lift up, and your entire body is going to come up off the ground.
That's some superhuman type stuff. What do you?
It is.
Wow.
It's so cool. And like, that's another one of the progressions that I want to get to, is to be able to do, I don't remember what they're called, but it's like a plank. I think it might be called a plank push-up maybe. Mm-hmm. But it's just so impressive seeing people be able to lift their entire body off the ground with just their hands, Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, you can just do so many cool things with push-ups. Also, like, most people just think of the normal, Saitama push-ups where, it's just, you just do a bunch of them, rep them out, but you can make them, it's so difficult.
That's true, yeah.
And you can focus a lot of different body or muscle groups in just push-ups. I don't know. I love the push-up. I could talk about it for days. So, what would you do for Nagisa? What do you think his main muscle group is?
What is Nagisa's? I haven't watched Free in so long now. What is Nagisa? Well,
it's been a hot minute for me too.
What is Nagisa's stroke? Is it the?
His is the breaststroke.
Okay, so it would be chest as well then, wouldn't it? Or would that be more shoulder? Breast.
It might be more shoulders, actually. Well, I don't know.
Let's just say shoulders, because either way, I think it's very similar to Ray's one, just because like they're both. What is the breaststroke?
Yeah.
What does it look like? I don't even know.
The breaststroke, it's the one where you have the your hands clasped together and you go out from your breast and you pull them back as the stroke.
Okay, I gotcha.
So his actually might be more chest and Ray's might be more shoulders. Okay. But regardless, let's call his shoulders. If we're wrong, hey, that's not what we're here. We're giving you right exercises, maybe just for the wrong people.
Some tough like the tunes. Okay, let's do for shoulders. See, there's this one, the exercise I told you about last time, the crazy made you do it when you came to my gym for the warm up, with just body weight. Like when you put dude, if you band it, it is one of the So you wanted to explain what it is for the people listening. Basically, you make your shoulder twist in ways you never thought possible. That's a bad example. It's a very
Well, explain it to me how you taught me how to do it.
Okay, so it's walk you through it, and it's going to be hard without looking at something. But basically, you reach your hand, so you put it on a band. You can do it. When I do it on my squat rack. When I do band it, but normally I just do body weight. It doesn't really matter. It's just if I do it for warm up more than exercise. So you reach your hand as far back as you can and grab the band. And have a little bit of tension there. Then you bring the band over the top of your head and go all the way out with it. Then you twist your arm back over your head, and then you reach all the way back. This is such a bad job explaining it. And then you almost V-shape it up into your back where it's touching it in an L shape against your back. I'm going to link the video again. I cannot recommend it. It's called a Yuri shoulder workout. If you Google that or if you YouTube that, it'll pop up. I'm going to link it again just because it's such a good exercise. I'm doing it right now. It feels so good. It's such a good burn, especially banded.
It definitely, and it opens up your shoulders, for sure. Yeah, he had me do it when I was up there, and I hadn't ever done anything like it. And it definitely, my shoulders felt very loose. It was definitely a good warm-up, but yeah, I could definitely see using a band and it being a huge shoulder work, because there's just so much movement, and the range of motion you're doing with your shoulder is insane.
Mm-hmm. Just because I've been through therapy so many times for my shoulder, I know a ton of weird shoulder exercises that work so well, and I think bands are one of the best ways to go with the shoulder. Just because it's such a key. I think the knee. It's such a key movement piece that you don't want to I don't like doing flies. First of all, never do a fly. Those are things
flies are not good for you. No.
Dumbbell fly, maybe a machine fly, you can get away with it. Dumbbell flies don't do. They're just not worth it. Because they're just,
it doesn't do enough for the negatives outweigh the positives for it.
Exactly. It's just so for my philosophy is on the shoulder at least. For my shoulders at least, is I don't want to do anything that will cause any strain to it. I just want to feel a nice burn in it. I don't want any tire them out. I just want to burn them. So this, it's such a good because it's constantly moving, it's constantly distorting it in different ways. It's I think that's the best philosophy, especially for the knees as well. If you ever, I don't know why you'd work out your knees. I don't think there's a workout for them, but the shoulder's just a pivotal thing. So much happens from them. You gotta take it nice and easy on the shoulders. You can't do any crazy stuff. Yeah. That would be my
for sure.
Other than just swimming, honestly, because swimming is such a good workout for your shoulders.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because you've got to. That's your main form of motion is with your arms.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for me, we've kind of switched a little bit here. I'm normally the calisthenics guy. You're normally the weights guy, but we're switching on this one. So for me, I think probably one of my favorite shoulder exercises is simply the dumbbell shoulder press.
Okay.
Right, and the reason I like dumbbells more than the barbell is because, one, I would argue that there's less ways to injure yourself with the dumbbells, because if you feel like it's too much weight, you can throw them away from you, whereas the dumbbell is directly over your head, or the barbell is directly over your head, and you can't really do a lot. You can maybe throw it forward, but that could also still like hit you and things like that. But it also helps a lot with stabilization, because you have each arm is going to be stabilizing one thing, instead of having like a stable bar and each arm being able to support each other. You have to do it each one has to do their own thing, which really helps with stabilization to get that shoulder strength. And pushing directly up that's been the press, like the military press, the dumbbell shoulder press, whatever you want to call it. It's been a staple in both bodybuilding and strongman, I believe, for a long time.
Yeah, any chest press especially. It's even an event. It's called the yoke, at the Arnold at least. It's a very like a chest press is. I gotta admit, yeah. I think it's more of a shoulder exercise, probably. I mean, more of a chest exercise, maybe.
Depending how if you're doing it straight up.
Yeah.
So if you're doing then it's all shoulders. Your chest isn't really going to be involved for that. If you're doing it like straight, if you're doing it like out, then yeah, it's going to be more chest.
I got you. Are you inclined?
Yes.
Or are you standing straight up in this? Because there's a difference.
No, I'm standing and doing. If you're inclined, that's more of an inclined bench.
Yeah, you're right. I was trying to think of what you were doing.
Yeah, no. So this is So I would be standing, or if you want to, you can also sit down, like in those, and you can move the bench to be straight up into a straight L.
Yeah.
And you can push your back against that, and then that'll just give you some more stabilization if you need that.
Oh my God, you're
and then you just push the dumbbells just straight up, and I like to twist the dumbbells, so I'll keep them. I will keep them. What is that word? Perpendicular to my shoulders when they're down at the shoulder. So, and then as I'm pushing it up, I will make it so then they're parallel with my shoulders. So making a fully straight line, like I'm holding a barbell. That's the position I'd be in. It's so hard to describe.
I get what you're saying.
I'm doing the motion while
I'm literally doing it with you right now.
Yep. And then slowly, as I'm bringing it back down, obviously you always want to keep these slow and controlled. Don't do these fast. You'll injure yourself, and it's just a better workout in general. Mm-hmm. And then slowly, as you're bringing it down, twist it back so it's perpendicular to your shoulders. Again, you can look up videos for everything we've talked about here, and you'll get really good demonstrations. I know Athlete X has talked about these before. Athlete X talks about band work all the time. Maybe not that specific one, but there's tons of people out there though. Tons of really great resources on YouTube, especially.
Mm-hmm. It's something I also recommend if you're more interested in the body weight side of things. Body weight fitness on Reddit, such a good source. I based one of my main like lifting routine with calisthenics off their recommended routine on there. It's such a good thing. I highly recommend.
Yeah, Reddit is a really good place for fitness. I was actually surprised. Mm-hmm. Like I don't frequent it as much. I know you're a big Redditor, and I'm more of a Twitter guy. And whenever you send me like the links for the fitness stuff, I'm always like really impressed with just how, I shouldn't be, because Reddit it's like a really good place just for information in general. Yeah. But you normally think of it as like the fedora wearing hat tippers. You don't really think of it as like big strong guys. You think more of that with the bodybuilding forums.
Yeah, exactly.
Or bodybuilding.com forums. But yeah, no, Reddit is also a really good place for fitness. Reddit and YouTube are probably two of the best, I would say.
Honestly, you can pretty much learn any exercise, or like, that's also another thing we need to talk about at some point. We'll touch on it for right now, is that the amount of like learning you learn, like you can learn as much as you want to. But at some point you just gotta say like, oh, it's time to actually do it. Like there's like I don't know what the good word would be to describe it, but there's a diminishing return, I guess is the best word, of knowledge to actually doing something. I think you've taught me about this at one point. Yeah.
Say knowledge, like you can know everything about a topic, but you might not know how to, you can know how to do everything, but you might not be able to.
Yeah.
Like I know how to do a push-up without like pushing my entire body off the ground. I know how to do it. I know the progressions it takes to get there, but I can't do it because, I mean, I'm just not that strong yet, and I've got to work on it. And that's what it is. Like, yeah, I can't really learn anything else about it. Like the same with like a handstand push-up. I know how to do it. I know, you know, the progressions it would take to get there, but I just have to put the things that I know into practice. And it's really the same with any skill.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think that's a very like powerful example too. I think that's, we're coming to the wire here though. We're already over an hour. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we wrap her up?
Well, I think all we have left is our challenge for this coming week.
Okay, I'm 100% down. What challenge do you propose? I haven't thought of anything.
So, this is going to be slightly against me, all right? But I propose that we do a calorie burn challenge.
Okay.
See who can burn the most calories this week. And the reason I'd say this is against me, for those of you listening, is because in the nicest way possible, I'm smaller.
No, dude, say it, 100%.
For sure. I'm smaller. I weigh about 175 right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what your weight is. I don't know what your weigh-in was.
195. That's what I'm at.
Okay. Yeah, so that's about a 20-pound difference. And so he can burn a lot more calories doing the exact same thing I'm doing.
Wow.
So it's putting me at a disadvantage, but it means I'm still going to win this one. So it doesn't really matter.
Are you sure? Hold on. Are you sure you want to do this?
I'm 100% sure I want to do this.
All right. Sure.
And for this, we can do, you know, any training we do counts. So like the walk in the morning that I've gotten back into doing. I don't know if you have or not. Mm-hmm. That walk in the morning, probably about 50 calories I get from that'll count. Any runs we do, any like if we do rock climbing at all, any weightlifting, obviously those are going to be kind of, you know, averages based on the amount of effort we put in. We'll kind of gauge that ourselves.
Yeah.
Like if we do shadow boxing, but anything fitness related. But I think the limitation here is that you can't just count, you know, your steps for the day and be like, all right, so like, you know how Fitbit like tracks your calories?
Yeah.
I think what we got to do is put it into MyFitnessPal and the calories that MyFitnessPal gives us.
Okay.
So that way it's the same algorithm there.
Okay. All right.
And that way we can even it out and we make sure. So I think that's the best way to do it on. And then we can just easily add the exercise each day because you can just put that in there and it'll tell you at the top plus whatever. If you haven't used MyFitnessPal, it's insane. Go use it. It's great.
Go use it. Yeah, no, it's a really good resource though, for real. Like it's
yeah,
it's very powerful. Especially if like
it is
very big like data nerds.
Oh yeah. And it just helps you track what you eat.
Mm-hmm. It's very good. I think it's like a staple for most people. It's just such a powerful tool. 100% recommend it. The only thing I'm gonna propose is because I do use my FitnessPal is linked with my Fitbit. So if I was to input something on my Fitbit, it would get inputted twice for my calorie count for the day. It would throw it off. So, but my Fitbit counts specific workouts. So I'm just gonna add up at the end of the week all my workouts for that week, and then makes sense.
Okay.
But
that's fair. That's fair. As long as it's getting put like, you know, into the same place. Mm-hmm. I just want us to have a score that we can kind of, so like I know how much you're doing.
I got you.
You know how much I'm doing.
That makes sense.
Right? So like we can see each other and know like this is more competitive, I guess.
Is there a challenge? You know? Is there a challenge button? I know does MyFitnessPal have challenges?
I don't know. We can check after.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I know Matt My Run does, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure that out. If not, we can always just track it.
Mm-hmm, I got you.
So, yeah, but I think that's it. Do you have any closing words here, or?
Technique and form will be your friend in any weightlifting exercise. That's all I got to say.
And any calisthenics, any fitness, always focus on that technique first and foremost, and then go up in your weights, up in your reps, up in difficulty. Thank you for listening to this episode of 2DWeebs. Be sure to tune in next week where we'll be getting buff and teaching you stuff.